Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Liverpool against Ipswich, as Ipswich are trying to get themselves relegated. But I think Wolves might instead, if Ipswich can pick up a couple points in the next few games. But right now we're going to talk about this first goal, and I want you to just have a little look how bad this is, right? There's zero pressure on the ball here, which enables Canine to do anything that he wants with the ball. And the Ipswich players are actually playing where they want the ball to go and not what's actually going on. And when I move this forward in a minute, you'll see what I'm talking about. A lot of players do this. They think the ball's going to be going somewhere, so they already start to shut that area down because they want the ball to be going into that space. And they're not actually watching the game. So you can see this is Slobosai who picks up this position between these four into this little pocket of space here. This is the danger space here. He spots it but doesn't do anything about it. And as we move this forward, you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to move it one. Yeah, right there. Boom. As it goes. You see the 1, 2, 3. They've all gravitated over here thinking the ball's going over towards Trent. And that's where these two players have absolutely got it completely wrong. And they've opened up the space here for him just to come in and do whatever he wants. Now, he's very, very good at picking up these positions, to be fair. But it all comes down to these two players getting sucked in out here wide and not paying any attention to what's going on where the actual football's being played. And again, there's zero pressure on the ball. If there's pressure on the ball, he cannot make this pass because it's a difficult pass. And he does it really, really easily because he's got all the time in the world to do it because there's no pressure on the ball. Again, panicking defending though, he's racing to close him down to make a challenge, trying to hold him up, and he just drags the ball ever so cutely past him. And look at the defender's recovering run. It is terrible. He runs away from the ball in a massive curving arc. The reason is because he's got his body shape and his angle completely wrong. So he can't actually just stay with the player. And when the player dukes him, keep chasing him this way. He's actually run away from the ball in a curving arc. That's what's ended up happening. Terrible, terrible, terrible defending. Running away. He's done a button hook to get away from the guy. And then it's a quality finish into the bottom corner. With his wrong foot, is he left footed? He's right footed. One and bump straight into the corner there. Very, very easy. All comes from, again, no pressure on the ball. Defenders just wanting the ball to go wide right to Trent and not watching the middle of the park. Easy 1-0 to Liverpool. Okay, you can already spot the problem. If you've been around my channel quite a bit, you'll understand how defenders are supposed to play, right? So defender is supposed to cover the space in front of him. He's supposed to cover the space in front of him. What does that mean? We've actually got a 2v1 overload here on the back stick. Player's not doing anything. So you can see, look, they look like they're in a good shape and system because you can see their lines, but they're not actually doing anything. What does that mean? They're not actually close enough to any players to force anything. So, for instance, right here in the midfield, you've got a midfielder tracking to go this way. Instead of being with this man there, his man's behind him, completely unmarked. We've got another one here, completely unmarked. He's completely unmarked, and he is completely unmarked. So even though, and actually, so is he. Even though they're back in a line and they're doing this, they're not covering any players. They're covering a sort of zonal area, but they're not marking anybody. There's no one actually. They could just still pass the ball around very, very easily because no one is close enough to put in a challenge or do anything. So when the ball comes wide over here to Gakpo, he's got. Again, no pressure really on the ball. Look how lazy that is to get out there to try to do anything. So, of course, because, look, he's unmarked still. He's unmarked still. Still being lazy on his run. This space is open for him to come in, which you're expecting him to come in and shoot. He doesn't. He comes in and delivers to the back stick. It's a decent cross. But when he does so, and he does come in and turn, look, that midfield is still not marking him, not really doing anything, not close enough to pressure the ball. No one is close enough to pressure this ball after he's overcommitted and he's cut inside here. So even though it looks like they're in a decent shape, they're actually not because none of the dangers are actually being taken care of. Look, even there, no one. Look, he's on the wrong side of him. He's not close enough again. Nobody is really defending. They're just going through the motions of standing around in a shape, in a system, and not actually defending against Liverpool. So when we float this cross in, 2v1 here. There is a bit of a argy-bargy push, but it's just dropped to Mo Salah really nicely. And you can see that there's no one close for Ipswich to be marking him. And if you are Ipswich and you are going against someone like Mo Salah, you might just want to go right, left, back. Your job is you're just going to sit there, sit on him all day. Don't care where he goes. Don't care what he's doing. We don't want him scoring. If we can have Mo Salah not score and not assist for Liverpool, we'll take out what I think he scores and assists in like 55% of Liverpool's goals. You can really shut them down. And that's just your job. You're just going to do that. And they don't. And like, you can't have him unmarked on the back post for a tapping. It's shocking. It is absolutely shocking. But don't worry. I'm sure there's worse. Let's move it on. See, right here, you think that, before we move it on, I'm just going to show you, right? You think that's marking, and that isn't, right? Because this player goes towards him to mark him, which he should be doing, leaving the guy on the back post, because he is caught in no man's land. He's not up here, and he's not back here, so we really can't challenge this player when there's a quality ball put in. And remember, they're better than you at football. They can put a ball, just like most really good players, anywhere they want. So if you're 2 yards forward, that's too far, because they can still drop it behind you into the space to the other player. Easy. So that's why it's so important to making those extra 2 yards and being back and marking him properly, giving him the opportunity to actually go and mark Salah. So instead, you have the 2 Ipswich players going for the same player, trying to win the ball, both miss, and he's completely unmarked on the back post. Shocking. So here we are. We're looking at this next goal here. Again, we've got players streaming forward for Liverpool, but same old problem, no pressure on the ball. And it's because it's the way they're set up. They're not really set up to put pressure and try to win the ball back, or they're just looking to drop deep and try to defend cross. I don't know what they're trying to do, to be honest, because it doesn't make any sense. I don't know how you'd set up like this. But here, all he has to do is go towards the ball to try to do something, try to put some pressure on. You can see he's not thinking about it at all. He's just coming back to get into shape. Go to the football, mate. It's important. That's how you stop things happening, like crosses into the box and all sorts. Again, sitting, look at the back four. Oh my God, look. Because it's such a curve, this guy, these 2 players here are making it so that there's a pocket of space. If we try to draw a line, I know it's going to be bad, but you can see they're giving Liverpool this space here to pass the ball into, because they're not set as a line properly. And these 2 players are causing a massive problem for their back four. So when you're dropping and you're doing this, this is why it's so important to be organised, because now it makes it easy, and there's no pressure on the ball. I mean, it's just terrible football. This sounded right. So as he's going, now you've got Trent. Look at that. I can already see the gap where the ball's going to go. So can you. He's nowhere near it. Nowhere near putting pressure on here. Don't worry. They're right back still dropping in to give that extra 2 yards if it is a bad pass, for someone to get on the end of it to make sure that they stay on side. Ball goes through, and it's just a shot. Now it's just, okay, the keeper saves it. Simple shot, following up. This guy's asking for offside, where he's got no idea what he's doing or how to play football. Maybe he should concentrate on playing the game instead of actually, wondering if it's offside or not. Now it's just a tap in for Gakpo after the keeper saves it, just because they've got more runners coming into the box that are aware of what's going on. And this guy was playing them onside the whole time. Yeah, who would think that they're terrible at the football, no matter where they are in the Premier League, eh? And this is what I mean, there are more Liverpool players queuing up, because this one defender here has played all 3 of these Liverpool players onside, making it really easy for one of the Liverpool players to be first on the rebound from the little shot from Trent's great little ball into here. It's simple. Just because one player hasn't done his job properly, he doesn't know where to go or stay. He's lost. He's lost. He's lost. He's terrible at the football. Just go to the ball and stop the cross in the first place. Even he could have come across and stopped the ball. He's just too busy stood there doing nothing as well. Overall, it's just poor. It's poor. Like, if I was breaking this down to try and run a coaching session to fix this, you've got too many problems. I mean, the simple aspects of understanding of when to go to the ball and when to drop into your shape, they don't understand. Simple aspect of holding your shape, they don't understand. There's too many problems. Too many problems. This goal here is just Sunday League amount of effort that Ipswich are putting in. Look at this back 15 that they've got here and a bunch of players in midfield. You've got Liverpool centre-back is all the way up here. There's no pressure on him. There's nobody within, 15, 20 yards of him to get him to win the ball. Do you know he's not good at the football? That's why he plays centre-back. He's really big and strong and he's fast and he can win a tackle. But I tell you what he's not good at is holding the ball and knocking it around really, really easily. If you put him under pressure, he'll lose it. But there's no pressure. They're just going to knock it out here to Trent. Watch how casual this is. Little casual boom pass. Not quick enough. No pressure on the ball at all. Now you can see the Liverpool players are basically doing an overload here. They've got 2 players here trying to match up on this one centre-back. He doesn't even notice. Because, well, what are you doing? The player you're supposed to mark is right in front of you and you're just switched off being lazy. It's just like this guy. He's not getting close enough to the ball. And it's Trent. He can see that. I can see that. As soon as the ball's come to his foot, he spots it. He spots the fact that these two players are running in behind here and are unmarked. So when he takes his touch and whips it, he's just got to get it right, and he does. None of the Ipswich players are even aware that that's a threat or a danger, or they wouldn't have had such high line on the top of the 18-yard box like there with someone like Trent out wide. It's all just too easy. Canate to Trent, to the back of the net, and there's not an Ipswich player close enough to make us challenge to any of them. It's just poor. I've got to make a comment on this tackle as well, because there's one in the Arsenal game that I'm going to talk about that isn't, it's never a red card. Well, I don't know. I'll talk about it when I get there. But here we go. This is a red card all day long. Putting your studs up, jumping into somebody, kneeing somebody in the throat. The ball's not there. So this is a red card. I mean, unless of course you're Man City and you're Duku and you're in the box against Liverpool. I think that was last year, was it? Yeah. Clear red card. I mean, look, the ball's not even, his ball's behind him when he's clattered him into the face. Red card all day long. More poor officiating. But what else do you expect in the Premier League? I do want to show you this as well, because it's a consistent thing with Liverpool, with Andy Robinson being too far forward and letting his man be completely unmarked in the box. He's terrible this season, to be fair. He's been doing this all the time. And Liverpool really don't get exposed that much for it, because they normally have the ball and they're normally attacking you. But I tell you what, they've got a huge problem with their left back. This is just too easy. Straight in, look, you don't know what he's doing. And thank goodness that it's not gone in, because Virgil's about to rip you a new one. But funny, the goal's going to come on from this side of the field anyway in a minute. Let's have a look at that. So here we are. The corner's coming in. I know it's a bit blurry, but there's not really much to see, because all we're really looking at is this pack of players. There's little Harvey Elliott here. Now, the problem is, Harvey Elliott's a good footballer, but I wouldn't have him in my team. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but if you're trying to win the league, Harvey Elliott's not a player that you're going to rely on to win you the league. And he's also a liability defending. He's not strong enough here. And this, I can't remember this guy's name. I do know him as well. Which just comes in, barrels him over. It's just strength. That's all it is here. Just completing out of strength for the ball, bullies his way through, and he's able to be on the end of this and tap it in and get himself a goal. Just bullied through the two players. It's that simple. Strength. Doesn't have it. Oh, little Harvey Elliott. And Liverpool lose themselves a goal. But yeah, are they odds on to win the league? Think so. If they win away at Bournemouth next weekend, I think that's a massive 3 points for them. That's going to be, to me, the real sort of telltale game. Because if they drop points there, it gives the chasing pack a little bit of hope. But if they don't, say goodnight to everyone, because Liverpool will win the league. See you next time on Cash Talks Football.